I love that you have my name on your actual body. Look at that thing.
Someone
I mean,
gave me a Schmidt shirt,
it's pretty goddamn tight. I'll tell you that.
like tight wise, like looks good, or tight like it's too
I mean,
tight.
it looks like it's painted on me.
Snug.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have any guns, so stop doing that. Nah.
All
You
right.
got a puma on your arm.
A puma?
Is that what that was? What is that
Yeah.
tattoo of? Rocky. That's right. Forgot.
All right. Should we restart the show, or is this
No,
how we're rolling in? We're rolling in.
This is how we're rolling in. This
All right,
is
hi,
how you
everyone.
ended. This is how your weekend started, finished, and now it's
Oh.
going to continue to Tuesday.
If this doesn't sum up my weekend, I don't know what is. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Schmidt Lavelle. My name is Tom Lavelle, and as always, I'm accompanied by Mr. Timothy Schmidt.
Are
A
you
lot to
sure
talk about.
Are you sure it's Tom Lavelle still?
I don't know. I'm not sure of anything anymore, Tim. I'm really not. But we're gonna get to all of that.
Yeah.
On this week's show, we got a lot of topics to cover, including Phillies winning, currently not winning, but they have been on a bit of a winning streak, the US Open, people that cheat at golf, Father's Day, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Hook, and Tom's 40th birthday. Tim, let's just get right into the meat of the situation. My 40th birthday. In theory, it was supposed to be amazing. You know, we had it all set up. I had the day off. We had a party planned, open bar, food, golf during the day, party at night, friends coming from all over to see and celebrate me, right? It should be great. Well, unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse. And, you know, not that I think one of the biggest things that bothers me, Tim, is not that it necessarily took a turn for the worst. It was maybe the time that it took a turn for the worst. You know, I've had things take a turn and end poorly before, but
Mhm.
usually not as early as when I had the things take a turn.
All right. So before we really get into that situation, right? Obviously, you know when that actually hit, right? You know when it hit. But like
Roughly.
let's kind of go through the day, right? Like you
Okay.
had this let's talk about the timeline here. Like let's talk about what was actually planned versus what actually really happened.
So we woke up in the morning, get ready. I had my stuff set up. I get dressed,
Mm-hmm.
go head to the golf course. Sitting at the golf course, I brought some drinks, and my cousin was generous enough to bring some Taco Bell breakfast for everyone to share. I don't believe you got some of that, Tim. You
Did
didn't
not.
partake.
No, I'm not gonna indulge in any Taco Bell before I tee off for a 4.5 hour round of golf on a Saturday, Tom. I will not do that.
Right. That could
I'm
lead
just
to a bad situation.
could lead that to maybe that round being cut in half.
So we go out, we play the round, nice day, beautiful day, a little windy, but all in all, it was a really nice day. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
even start drinking until the back nine, right? So then I started having some of these stateside seltzers, which is like a vodka club soda.
Sure.
And, I want to say maybe had like 3 or 4 of them there. Now, I will say I had a breakfast sandwich. I had a cup of coffee, part of a cup of coffee at least, and a small Gatorade. And then I started drinking. So
Well,
then,
look, hold on. So just to clarify, I do appreciate what you did in terms of your 40th birthday party because, like, look, 40 is it's a big number, right, in
right,
life, right? 40 is a big number. You're basically half dead, okay,
right, I would say you're close.
and you want to celebrate in a way that is most meaningful to you and what's near and dear to your heart is your friends, your family, and and obviously golf, right?
Yeah.
And the place where you work, which you're a bartender, and you love having those relationships there, and you're very good at what you do. And
Whoa. Are you
hey,
buttering me? Where's this
I'm,
headed?
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, look, this is in my opinion, this was a solid 40th birthday
Set up.
plan. It was a
Yes.
good plan. It was a good plan. Golf in the morning, bar in the afternoon where you work, open bar, solid people around you all the way throughout. No one to take advantage of you. It was very good. It was a good setup. Okay. Most people sometimes get a little carried away with their 40th, especially women. They like to go, on extravagant adventures to different parts of the world. And, you know,
Right. I'm not doing a destination. I'm more about, and almost what becomes the shame of it, and I guess we'll get into that later. I'm more about who is there as
mhm,
opposed to where I'm at. You know what I
sure.
mean? I can
Yeah.
have fun anywhere. It can be in my backyard. It could be in a side yard, apparently. It can be at a bar, local bar. It could be at a bar that's a far away. Either
So,
way.
so real quick. So solid round of golf. Okay. Like nothing really
A little
significant.
pricey, I would
Oh,
say the golf
oh,
was.
I mean, that's what golf is in this area right now. It's a little ridiculous. There's only like 5 public golf courses to play, but we'll get into that in a different segment. But Tom, nothing of significance happened. No, like hole in ones. No, nothing
No,
crazy.
nothing crazy.
But a
You know,
solid day of
yeah,
golf, right?
some good
With the
shots,
boys.
some fun, making memories with the boys. You know what I mean?
A lot
And
of couple beverages throughout.
couple bevs. I did whack a tee at the end of it with our friend Jeff. Um, and then we headed back to the bar. And I went home to change my sneakers. I grabbed a couple more of the statesides. I had one of those on the way to the bar. I get to the bar, I get another one, and I set up a table for people to start playing beer pong. I figure we're going to be at the bar. Let's give the people something to do. Set up beer pong. I helped my wife finish setting up for the party. People start rolling in. We're having a good time. I went over to the jukebox. I put in like $30 in the jukebox. I had already come up with a list of songs I wanted to play and somewhat the order that I wanted them to play so that it would lead to a crescendo, of
Yes,
the
it's a great
night
word.
where we would have the party build and the fun and just elevate and elevate. And as people are coming in, I'm having more and more fun. There's plenty of pictures of me having a great time, seeing friends, old, new,
Mhm.
people that I see all the time, people that I don't see often, and just laughing and having fun and doing the normal thing, Tim.
Tom, the plan seemed flawless. Let's talk about the execution.
Mm. Well, Tim, it's funny. You mentioned something earlier when you said there was no one around to take advantage of me besides myself, Tim. Ah! And you know what?
Ugh.
The goal to me is when I'm going out, it always seems to lead to trouble is shots. If I start doing shots, that's when I can get into some trouble. Now, I've had times where I've gone out and I've done some shots and had some fun, and there was no trouble at all. And you think, I got it figured out. I've got these shots things figured out. Well, as people started to roll in, I guess specifically around the 6 p.m. hour, they were coming in and people wanted to have a drink with me, have a shot with me, and funny enough, the next like couple days afterwards, I'm being told about these shots that I had done. Oh, you did this one, and I said that wasn't a good idea. Says my wife. Oh, and then you're doing that one. I said, well, that's not a good idea. And there's a lot more shots that are being told to me that I did that I don't remember doing.
Mm.
And my one buddy said to me, he said, Tom, you looked like you were fine. And then at the next moment, I went over and saw you, and you look cross-eyed.
Well, Tom, that's usually how it works, right?
Yeah.
So usually the alcohol hits, and it's good night, Irene. And at what point, Tom, do you think, do you have have you narrowed it down? Have you figured out like a time where maybe that might have occurred with you?
I'm thinking a little around 7 p.m. I think it was around 7 p.m. The party was from 4 to 7. So I will say, if I didn't make it to the end of the party, I think I was close. I would say I'm going from 6:45 to 7:15 is that window of where things really started to turn, and I
Hey,
don't.
so Tom, why don't we get into a little bit of a back and forth here, Tom? Why don't we talk to your whole just mental state in your approach to when you arrive back to Grams, right? So
Okay.
you get back to Grams, you're feeling good after shooting a 90-ish
Yeah,
round,
90-ish. Yeah.
right? You're feeling solid, and say your first friend approaches you with a shot, and maybe that shot's a Jameson, right?
Right.
And you decide that, hey, maybe this is a good time, right? You get back to the bar at 2:30 ish, 3 o'clock. This is the time that you're going to start your first shot.
Yeah. When did I have my first shot? I don't remember the time I had my first shot. I will say I did start playing beer pong rather quickly, and we weren't playing like drink the cups, but
Mm,
the statesides were going down quickly, you
mm.
know? And I mentioned earlier that I had the breakfast sandwich, some coffee, and a Gatorade. That's all I had. And when we got back to the bar, there was a pretzel tray set up and some Chick-fil-A nuggets. And I popped a couple of those, and that's pretty much all I ate the whole day.
So, just to be clear, your approach was to steer clear from food and just stay strictly with
Alcohol.
alcohol,
Yes.
fluids.
And not the fluids, not non-alcoholic fluids, just
Yeah.
alcoholic fluids. Yes.
Yes. Probably,
So I
yeah.
don't
I
know if
mean,
that was necessarily the plan, but everyone's got a plan until
mm,
they get hit in the face with a shot. And so a couple of those shots started to come.
mm.
And I do remember my one buddy showing up and I said, let's do a shot, blah, blah, blah. Let's do a bomb or something like that. And next thing you know, it's a cup of
Dude,
something to chug.
listen, I'm not going to sit here and point blame, and wag my finger at you and say you shouldn't have done this. And, well, listen, Tom, when you're in such a good mood, and it seemed as if you were in such a great mood on Saturday night, or Saturday, I should say, because I wasn't back there with you at the bar on Saturday. Um, you know, the beverages start flowing. It's you just kind of lose control on what is actually happening, and yeah, it feels like every time you grab a beer, it's your first beer. And you know what? Sharing a beer with, I don't know, 25 to 40 of your friends, it feels pretty normal. And you want to have one beer with each of them. And sometimes it can kind of compile up a little bit and it'll catch up to you, Tommy.
Well, Tim, that is what happened. And so that's, I guess, and I appreciate you saying that because, look, things happen. And I think a lot of people, certainly they've been very generous to me in how they've approached me after what had happened. Everyone's been very empathetic. There's another good word, right? And
You're you're
I'm killing it with these
you're
words
breaking
today.
you're breaking out the vocabulary right now.
Yeah.
You must have done some research. Did you prepare a statement,
I
Tom?
prepared a statement. And so I would say everyone has been very nice. A lot of people were stunned to see me in the state that it turned into. They had not ever seen me like that. They seem to think I'm always in control.
I'm
And
one
a,
of those people.
and a lot of times I'm behind the bar and I am like the person that's my job. And so um, I do like to get after it though, and my friends know that I do get after it sometimes, and a lot of them now know that I certainly do. So what's embarrassing is I know better. You know what I mean? I 100% know better that
No.
you got
No,
to
no, no,
build a
no.
base,
No,
you
no, no,
got to
no, no,
eat, you
no,
have to
no,
do better.
no, no. You're not getting away with I know better. You're not you're not getting away
I
with that.
do.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, you're 40 years old. Everyone knows
Exactly.
better at 40 years old.
Yeah, right. And
But
so
what
then
you
I
went
did it
out
again.
and what you did was absolutely insane and fantastic. And it's never gonna be done ever again.
I hope not for anyone else's sake.
You're not gonna do it at 50, you're not
No,
gonna do it at 60. You
no.
certainly you used up your 40 card and it was awesome.
Ah,
So
I've been getting a lot of that. Now, I don't want to glorify this because let me tell you, I was not happy with the way things happened. And at some point, and for the people that don't know, they're just listening, I end up on the side of where I work, on the ground, throwing up in the grass, daylight. Everyone is there watching me. Like, look at this animal, this mess of a human being just on the side of this building yakking up his life, cursing everyone out, telling them to get the fuck away from him, blah, 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 all this other shit. Just being a complete mess. My one friend, I think, was kneeling in my puke. Another friend, I think, dropped puke, like puke out on his phone. People are like trying to protect me from other people filming. They're like yelling at other people, or some people are trying to film me and because it's funny and whatever. And so it's like and I'm sitting there and I'm just so like, what the hell, in like a complete drunken state and just like so depressed, like what the fuck? Like I knew I'm on the side. I'm like it's sitting over there and I'm like, I can't move. I'm gonna be sick, but like I know I've fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm over there like, this is awful. So then somehow they get me into a car because eventually I'm like, okay, I can move. Like I can be moved. I was like, if you move me, I'm gonna fucking throw up everywhere. Just leave me here. It's cool. I'm on the ground. Like I'm just trying to like catch my bearings. They get me into a car. My brother drives me home, my head leaning out the car the whole way, and I'm like, like out the car.
dry even like
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just like I get like a heavy like breather, I start going, like that, so which is even more embarrassing. And I get home. There's a babysitter at my house. My wife's like, hey, just have the kids in a room. We don't want the kids to see him like this. My brother gets me into the house, up into the bathroom. I'm on the floor. Next thing you know, I wake up.
uh,
I'm in bed. My wife's in there. And I will say this, my wife, for as much as she was like helping me throughout the situation, she is the type of person that any bad situation, she magnifies how bad it is. So I'm not getting any good news. You know what I mean? And so what I already know is bad is now like, doomsday is coming. She's telling me, well, you did this and you
the
did
best,
this.
yeah, yeah. But like, look, I mean, kudos to your wife because look, she set up the party, right? And
Right.
she
She set
she
up the
really
party. She footed everything. She like had it
she's
all set up for me. And now she's got this mess on her hands that she's like,
uh
what do I do now?
and she's still married to you, so that's a good thing. That's solid. That's solid.
As of right
Um,
now.
but I mean, kudos to her. But I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, if it was me, I'd be like, listen, like, I'd embellish everything that you did. I'd be like,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You were dropping bombs left and right. You took a shit in the bathroom and you threw it against the wall. Like, to clean that up, I would have added to the list, dude. I would have made you look even worse than you actually were. I would have made you feel terrible. But hey, look, listen, we all go through it. We've all been there before. The funny part about it, in my opinion, was the next day is Father's Day. So you absolutely get completely shit faced hammered. And then you follow it up and you're expecting showers of love and, and like, Tom, just hey, do your thing. It's Father's Day, like
Let
I think
loose.
yeah, yeah. Most people look, I mean, and kudos to you. You went to and played golf and it was a nice round
It was fun.
but
We did have fun and I did feel better. I mean, I still have the anxiety of like seems like everyone that comes in, I owe an explanation to what's going on. Like everyone comes in like, you're alive, and it's like, yeah, yeah, I'm alive. I was like, so you were here, huh? And they're like, yeah, I was here. What, like, and a couple people I've been fortunate were there and had to leave early, so that was good. But yeah, the big shame of it is my friends that I do not get to see very often that were there that I did not get to hang out with longer. If this would have happened at 11 p.m., it's a way different story than if it happens at 7. You know what I mean? But
Or even on your 21st birthday and not your 40th, like
oh, it happened on my 21st birthday. Believe that. My 21st was out of control. I haven't felt this, there's a couple times. It comes up not like this. This might be the worst ever, but there's like since I was 21, but there's a couple times, every couple years or something, there's a big banger that
dude,
Tom gets a
just
little crazy.
and a crazy story, but like, dude, like me and my three buddies, we went on a bachelor party. Dude, it must have been like 10 years ago. And there's only three of us that could go. And we ended up going to Vegas. So there was a total of four of us, and we were out there. We lost one of our friends, the first night. And like we didn't see him till the end of the trip. And by the time we were supposed to get back, like, dude, this dude was supposed to get married. So like we lost him the entire time, and like we didn't know how to tell his wife. Like, dude, like we lost fucking Steve, dude. Like he's nowhere to be found. And dude, my other buddy ended up with a tattoo on his face. It
Really?
was
Wait, is this the one where you guys ran into Mike Tyson? Is this the one where you and Mike Tyson, you saw
yeah,
Mike Tyson
yeah,
out
yeah,
there?
yeah. Ran into Mike, and he had a tiger.
Oh man.
Yeah, I
Next
mean,
thing you know,
so
you're carrying a baby around with you.
so very. I mean, I hear you, dude. We all have those
Oh God.
hangover
Funny
experiences.
enough, my bachelor party, I did wake up with the Tyson tattoo on my face. Um, I would like to share with our audience maybe what my mother texted me the next morning,
Yes, yes.
if you will. Now,
This
I
would be
will
fair.
say this. My mom there was a big life-size cutout of me, Tim, that you've
I
seen. And
saw that. I
yeah,
saw that.
she thought while I was on the grass outside that it would be great to go out with the life-size cutout and get a picture with me with the life-size cutout. So that's where my mom is. So my mom texted me and my wife the next day.
Hold
Great
on. Did
part.
she do it? Did she do journal style? Tom.
Oh, it's a bit of a journal entry. So great party. Thank you so much. I love you very much. I said, my reply, this is Sunday at 9 a.m. What an embarrassment. Right? That was my reply. She goes, I disagree. I'm very proud of you, Tommy.
I disagree.
Uh,
Really?
from my perspective, you and Nicole threw a lovely party. Everything was great. Your guests were so happy to celebrate with you all day, I heard. Tom is a great guy. Tom is the best guy I know. Tom is a great friend. I love you, son. He is one of the finest people I know, etc. And guess what? Tom, they are right. You are the best. I am proud of you for being you. It brought me joy to witness the extended family you and Nicole have created. Such great people who care deeply for you and who come to your party for one reason to celebrate with you. I want you to remember you had a great 40th birthday. Your wrestling match with abominable alcohol didn't end in your favor, but trust me, you were enjoying all but the last round. Focus on the other rounds. Well, I guess
yeah,
that was
well,
nice,
yeah.
Mom.
That's solid. That's a good mom right there. She always looks to see the bright side of things.
You know, even someone, even a serial killer's mom has love for them. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Yeah, I
matter.
mean,
My son's the
listen,
best serial killer there's ever been. That's
Jeffrey, there's been no one ever that dismember a body like you. You are such a fantastic son, and my God, you'll be remembered forever.
forever. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the 40th birthday party. Still kind of recovering. I'm having a beverage now.
We're
I
gonna
did
we are gonna show some of these pictures of like you like dancing like right on over my shoulder, or like they're gonna
well,
right
what we're
like
gonna
you.
do is, Tim, our conversation I'm thinking that we just had, we'll clip it up. We'll take some of the stuff from the clips. We'll mix in some pictures and some videos from that
Yeah.
day and put that out as our teaser for this week's episode.
Luckily, I was able to stay in touch with your boss,
Yeah, that was okay. Great.
and he was able to
Send you
kind of
some
fill me
footage.
in. Yeah, fill me in on the workings and the minute by minute, essentially, downfall of Tommy Lavelle on Saturday night, and it was entertaining.
You did send me a great. We should put that in there too. The video that you sent me, like, bud, I hear it didn't go so good for you. Cheers. But and then your regret that you went golfing instead of to the party.
Yeah.
The one thing I have noticed, a lot of people. Now, I said there was a lot of people that were empathetic, that were very kind and very, hey, it happens and yada yada, kind of like you've been doing, which I appreciate, Tim. But I did notice a lot of people very happy to see me in that situation,
I mean, I'm one of them,
Yeah.
and listen, Tom, you walk the line, Tom. You're usually on the other side of the bar, and I think that has a lot to do with it, Tom. I think
Right.
you're serving people most of the time, and
Right.
it's finally
The
an
prison
opportunity.
guard is the one that's getting arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they
The
see that.
inmates are now, oh, there we go.
Look at this guy. He does have some vices a little bit, huh? He does buy cigarettes from the guy in the prison. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Well,
think that has something to do with it there, Tom.
but yeah, big slice of humble pie I've been eating the last couple days. But hey, you know what, Tim? At the end of the day, I'm happy I'm me, and I is what I is. I can't change it. You know what I mean? As Popeye once says, I is what I is. So
No
that
other way to spin it, Tommy.
yeah, that concludes the discussion of the 40th birthday party. Now let's move on to something that me and you have been talking about for a little bit now. We're both dads, and we're both now introducing movies that we loved when we
Oh,
were growing up to our kids now as they're getting older. And as they get older, you say, sometimes you go like, okay, they're this age. I think they're ready to watch this movie. Tim, this past
yeah.
weekend, you got to share a movie with your daughters. And from what I took from what you were telling me, they loved it. Can you tell the audience which movie it was and how it went down?
So I've been rolling out, Tom. I've been rolling out movie after movie with my kids as they've gotten older, and there's definitely an age what am I looking for? What's the word? Like an age kind of like level
Right.
for most of these movies, right? So like a couple years ago I rolled out Princess Bride. Love Princess Bride, right?
Yes.
Be- Beethoven rolled it out to the kids. They loved it. And most of the movies that I've rolled out have been like pretty good, but like dude, this weekend I sat down after I played golf with you on Saturday morning. I got back around, like 1 o'clock or something like that. And, my kids were like, yeah, let's kind of like watch a movie, dad. Let's chill. And I'm like, all right, I'm in. So we were looking for like, they wanted to watch Super Mario Brothers. And I was like, it's the new movie that's out. And I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
dude,
I've seen it.
Out on Super Mario Brothers. I know it's a good movie, but like they've
It's all
already
right.
seen it twice. They've already seen it twice. I'm like, let's try something different. And I was trying to think of like a cartoon movie, right? Something that's like kind of impactful, like maybe The Little Mermaid or something like that. And dude, you know what? It just popped in my head. I was like, it was either The Goonies or it was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I threw on Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I'm telling you, Tom, I felt like a kid again. I felt like I was 8 years old watching that movie, dude. It is fantastic, dude, from start to finish. And my kids ate it up from the time the opening credits started. it's a movie ahead of its time. So the director is Robert Zemeckis, and he's the guy that does he did, I think I told you this. He did
Polar Express.
Polar Express.
Yeah.
He has those movies that are like very like similar to that. I think he had a little bit to do with like Back to the Future too as well, but um this is a movie in 1988 that has cartoon characters and legit like human beings
Right.
acting together, right? And it just seems like so synonymous. And it's like, dude, it's unheard of. Like you don't see another movie like the next movie that you see like that is the movie. Do you remember the movie Cool World?
Cool World. No, I don't
So
remember that.
Cool World was another movie that was like kind of on like the same like kind of plateau, but like it's just a different type of movie where like cartoon characters are interacting with human beings like real actors, and it's just insane. And my kids are like pointing out every single cartoon character that pops up on the screen. Oh, that's so and so, and that's Betty Boop, and that's this, and that's Mickey, and that's Donald, and Daffy Duck, and like just they were so engaged from the time it started till it ended, and just the movie plot, like the just the whole movie in general is just awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Great cast
surprised,
too. Bob Hoskins and Christopher
yeah,
Lloyd and
yep,
Kathleen Turner, you said, played the voice of
Jessica
Jessica
Rabbit,
Rabbit, and
yep,
just like a ton of great talent in that movie. And there's something like so cool about share like a movie that you loved, and like you said, it brought you back to like being a kid, but then seeing your kids love it is another thing, because I picked some movies where we've put them on and they're like old movies that I loved and stuff like that. And I'm like, this isn't like the best. And then like my kid likes it, but you knew it wasn't like a home run. You know what I mean? Like, for
yeah,
example,
yeah.
Blank Check was that for me. I put on Blank Check for my
Mm.
kid. Awful movie, completely terrible. The kid liked it. The idea of Blank Check is great, but it was just an awful movie, and my kid wasn't digging it at all.
And there's movies, and Tom, there's movies that hold up. Like Home Alone holds up. One and
Right.
two hold up, right? Who Framed Roger Rabbit, in my opinion, holds up. The Goonies holds up
Honey, I
because
Shrunk
it,
the Kids is another one that I watched recently that holds up. Like, I was like, this is such an entertaining movie.
yeah. I mean, there's movies like that hold up, and then there's movies that just fall flat. It's like it doesn't really connect with like, you know, today's youth, and that's fine. But that's something that me and you hold on to, Tom. And like you don't have to pass it down to your kids because
Right.
they're like, hey, this movie blows. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was awesome from start to finish. I rewatched it again, and I mean, the ending of the movie is great.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
You
Christopher
remember
Lloyd,
me when I
yeah, yeah,
killed
yeah, dude. And you know what else is pretty significant in that movie is I don't even know the company that came up with the movie. I forget who it was, but um, you have Disney characters, right? You have all
Warner
different like
Warner
different
Brothers,
Warner
Disney.
Brothers characters all in
Yeah.
the same movie, which is
Yeah.
pretty impressive. It's really impressive to see Mickey and Donald, and then you have on the other end, you have
Bugs
like
Bunny and
Bugs Bunny
yeah.
and Daffy Duck and like all these Elmer Fudd and all these other guys, right? And it's just a really cool like dynamic. And if you have a chance and you're listening to the pod, definitely tune up Who Framed Roger Rabbit because it's a solid flick all the way through.
Incredible movie. Go check it out. If you haven't seen it in a while and you're looking for something to watch, especially with your kids or just even by yourself and you're looking to go down memory lane, throw on Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and you're gonna love it. Tim, real quick, a movie that I shared with my son this week, Hook. Now he's 5 years old, gonna be 6 in the middle of the summer. So I was like, is this too early to share Hook with him? It might still be a little bit early, but one thing I wanted to touch on that never gets old, or not never gets old, never gets easier to deal with, the death of Rufio. It's still just something that I had to go through again. I noticed my son go, wait, what? What just happened? Did Rufio, he was invested in Rufio, the coolest character maybe in the movie. And when, looky, looky, I got hooky, and then bop, bop, bop.
All right, so hold on. I got a couple things to touch on Hulk. Okay,
Okay.
because Hulk is one of my all time favorite movies.
Mine too.
First of all, stellar cast. You have Dustin
Top
Hoffman,
notch. Yes.
right? You
Dustin
have
Hoffman is Captain
Robin
Hook.
Williams,
Robin Williams is Peter Pan.
and who is Tink? Julia
Tinkerbell, Julia
Roberts.
Roberts. And then
And
even the
then
kids.
hold on, no, you also have a connection to Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh
Who
yeah.
plays
He's
who plays Smee?
Hoskins. Bob Hoskins plays Smee.
Yep. And dude, it's just an awesome movie from start to finish. Again, I say this a lot. But dude, the Rufio, like that whole scene is just like, I used this word before, macabre.
Macabre.
And it's like, the movie's PG and you kill a kid in the goddamn
I
movie. Like,
know.
what is
Oh, it
Steven
was
Spielberg thinking?
heartbreaking.
Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, the whole movie is just about Neverland, and then all of a sudden you wax Rufio. Like, I
Done.
get, I get Peter Pan taking over and crowing and all that stuff and taking
Gwyneth
over, and it's
Paltrow's
really,
in it too. I forgot her. She came on. She was Wendy as a kid when he's having the
oh yes,
flashbacks.
yes, yes, yes.
I
She's
was
kid in the
like, I
bed.
said to my wife,
Yes,
I said, you know who that is? She goes, who? I go, it's Gwyneth Paltrow.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, that
Um,
scene though is rough, Even the boo box is pretty rough for a 5-year-old, I remember not liking that when I was a kid, and then it was like
but it is a phenomenal movie though.
one of the best ever.
It's fantastic. It's got all the quotes.
Click and
Uh
stick?
oh yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
easy.
Good.
Easy click and stay. No, 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 no. We must play by Master Jack's rules.
uh Run home,
Smee,
Jack.
Smee,
Run home,
Smee.
Jack.
Yes, yes,
They've
yes.
got it backwards. Me. Oh, dude, how good is Dustin Hoffman in that movie? An actor that is just like totally not given the credit that he deserves. He's so good in so much stuff, but Captain Hook,
Oh,
he
yeah.
nailed Captain Hook.
Give it
I'm gonna
give it
do it
all.
this time, Smee. I'm gonna do it. Don't stop me. Don't stop me, Smee. Don't
Stop
stop me,
it.
Smee. What are you doing? Stop me. Stop me,
Stop
Smee. I'm gonna
it.
blow my head off.
Give it old man his dignity back. Uh, what else? What is there a world without Captain James Hook?
He's just mad he never had a mommy.
Yeah.
Well, go check out both of those movies. Definitely great for the kids. Two classics given to you by Schmidt Lavelle. Schmidt Lavelle tested and approved. Tim, as we mentioned earlier, on my bachelor party, we went golfing and watched golf all weekend. So there's a couple things we wanted to touch on. First thing, I noticed when I'm playing with my friends, what is the code here for golf where you're putting in your score, you're doing this like for example, you said to me, Tom, what'd you end up shooting on that round? And you said like 90-ish, right? Now there were some holes where I had like a mulligan or I did this and that. I don't play too often, and so I said I could have shot anywhere from like a 93, 94 to a 91. I was like, I don't know. There were some things like as we were on the cart, I didn't really like add it up, but I don't really care what my score is. Of course, unless I'm shooting a 70. But when you're punching this into an app and you're trying to get a handicap and trying like I guess my question is, when you put down a score that's not your correct score, who are you really cheating?
I mean,
What's the point?
no, I mean, you're cheating yourself. I don't know. I mean, look, there's people that play, and they play in serious tournaments and they need a handicap to play in these tournaments and things of that nature, which, yeah, I'm not going to get too serious on it, but like, look, dude, you're only cheating yourself if you're cheating on the golf course, right? Like, um, I understand like high handicappers, so guys that have just started out, right? Like that are um trying to figure their way through Yeah, the golf course. It's tough, dude. It's tough. Like you don't want to put down a fucking 15 on on a hole. Like,
Right. Well,
like
see, that's the thing.
eh,
I will say when you're out there golfing, once you hit double par, just pick it up and we're
yeah,
moving on. I don't tell anyone unless it's for money, but like I'm just saying if you're at a 10 on a par 5, all right, dude, you got a 10.
right.
Let's move on.
So here's what I'll say. The ultimate rule, right? And I'll say this for any golfer, okay? If you are just going out with your boys, okay? Standard procedure, okay? And if you want to keep the golf moving, you get one mulligan on the front, one on the back. Okay. So you
Right.
get two mulligans per day, and they only happen on the tee shots, and that's it. You don't take a mulligan on a putt, and you
No.
don't hold, and it's either on like usually, look, breakfast balls usually only happen on the first tee. That's it. That's why it's called a breakfast ball. It's the first tee shot of the day.
Right. You get there,
Okay.
maybe you haven't had a chance to warm up, you hit it bad, and it's like, let me take another swing. I just rolled out of my car.
All right.
You know what I
So
mean?
look, yeah, I mean, and that's a given. So like, look, if you're playing golf, right, and you say, all right, look, we're doing breakfast ball rules. You only get one breakfast ball, and it happens on the first tee, and that's it. Okay, and
Right.
that's it. So that's a different set of rules. Like, so that's it. You're playing one breakfast ball, and then you move forward. There's another group of golfers that just play. Hey, you get a mulligan on the front, you get a mulligan on the back, and that's it. Okay,
Right.
and that's fine. So you get one mulligan on the front and one mulligan on the back, and that's usually just a tee shot, and that's it. Listen, that those are the only rules of golf. You get double par, right?
Right.
So if par's 3 on that hole, the max you can take is a 6. If it's 4, the max you can take is an 8. If it's 5, the max you can take is a 10. As soon as you hit that threshold, you pick up and then you move on to the next guy.
Right.
I'm
And
sorry,
that's to
to
keep
the next
pace
hole.
of play. That's to keep
That's
things
it.
moving.
That's a standard procedure, and that's look. If you're, it's either one or the other, right? And like you can't, you don't just pick and choose when you get a breakfast ball. You don't pick and choose when you get when you get your mulligan or anything like that. It's a tee shot, and that's it. And just figure it out and move forward, dude. That's it. That's the way you play golf. Like people that fluff the ball in the fairway or in the rough and all that other stuff. Like, come on, man. Like just play the ball where it lies.
Well, Tim, for example, this on Sunday, I'm hungover as shit. I can barely feel my hands. On the putting green, I had no I didn't know what was going on. There was no touch. So I hit one shot and it was laughable. Me and our buddy, we were playing, and it seemed like every time I hit a shot, my ball was landing in the worst possible spot that it could land. So I tee off and I hit a nice drive, and I'm like, all right, that looks good. There are some bunkers up there, but I'm like, I don't think I reached the bunkers. We get up there. Not did only did it reach the bunker, it went through the bunker and then stopped on the lip above the bunker. And this is on a hill. So, I'm hungover as shit. I'm not even really keeping score at this point. But then it's like, I don't move the ball. I could have just thrown it in the fairway and hit from there. Like, who gives a shit? I don't really care. But this was a chance for me to make a shot. Let me take a shot here, Tim. Let me tell you something. Your boy hit the shot of the day. Got a club, smacked it, boom, put it 10 feet off the green right in front of the pin. I ended up parring that hole.
There
One
you
of like
go.
my
See?
few pars.
And you
That's
were
what it's all
rewarded,
about.
Tom. You were rewarded for not moving that ball, right? Like you probably would have moved it out to the fairway and you probably would have chunked it. It probably would have rolled
Sculled it.
into another bunker or something like that. You would have lost the ball. It's just look, just respect the game of golf. These guys on a PGA tour, they call themselves out for like, the smallest things. For hey, like this ball moved when I was standing over it. Do I incur a penalty? Like it's the craziest shit. Like golf. Listen, golf is the dumbest fucking sport in the world. I
Right.
I will be the first to admit it. The rules are fucking stupid, but guess what? The people that play the game, they respect the rules and they fucking adhere to them. And look, they're honest about the way they play the game. And I think you should respect the game just as much as they do. So
Real quick,
follow follow
gimmies
suit.
on gimmies on um or gimmies allowed if it's say it's a 3 foot putt, if it's for bogey, okay. You know what I mean? Or whatever. If you're just playing quick, like let's go through the gimme rule, there's no gimmies on pars or definitely not birdies. Now, if it's an inch away from the cup, clearly they just. But if it's a birdie, you're going to walk up and tap it in anyways because that's a birdie.
Listen, it's all about your playing partner, right? Your playing partner can make the determination, right? But like again, if you're in a match, it has to be the opposing playing partner. So like if you're in a foursome and your partner, the guy that you're playing with, says you're good, that's not suffice. You have to wait until the other guy says, "Hey, you're good." Um, Typically, I would say that you have to put out pars, you have to put out birdies. You always put out birdies, no matter what. But yeah, I mean, it's the rule of golf. Like you have to put these things out. 3 footers can go either way, dude. We seen in the last championship in the U.S. Open that 3 footers are not gimmies, especially with professional players. Um, so you have to finish those putts out. They say like has to be a putter length for you to get a gimme, but I mean, it's all about the people that you're playing with. If they decide to give you a 3 foot putt, then they're pretty generous.
All right, Tim. So then that's going to lead me to the U.S. Open, and it was a great tournament. It started off where it looked like the score was going to be really low, and then it seemed like the country club made some adjustments to try to keep it traditionally where the U.S. Open, you traditionally try to have a very tough course. And they seem to make it very tough, not watering the greens, pin placement, different conditions that happen throughout the day. What were your overall thoughts of the U.S. Open and how everything played out?
I thought it was so. Again, I'm so big into golf, Tom, as you know.
Yeah,
I watch all the majors. I run pools for them, and I'm very in tune with what goes on with all these majors. And what happened with Los Angeles Country Club, which is where the U.S. Open took place this past weekend, was kind of an anomaly because you saw guys go so low on Thursday, which was the opening round.
right.
Um, you saw two guys, Xander Schauffele and Ricky Fowler, shoot 8 under both, which set the record for low in a major in a major. So they shot 8 under par, which was the lowest in a major ever,
Any
which is
major,
crazy in any major.
let alone the U.S. Open, which is supposed to be the toughest test in golf.
Right. So that was a big deal. And everyone started saying, well, yeah, this course isn't really much and like it's not really that big of a test. And then so they shot 8 under and the winner ended up with a 10 under score, I believe.
Yeah, finished 10
Wyndham
under.
Clark.
Yeah.
So and a lot of it has to do with setup, but the other part of it has to do with the actual weather in the area. So like there was a marine layer that was laying over the course that kind of made the course soft for majority of the day on Thursday. On Friday, they had a little bit of that in the morning, which why the scores were so low in the morning. And then all of a sudden the course started drying out and it started getting fast. And the players couldn't hold the greens. And it was just like it was awesome. It was incredible theater. And for me, watching Ricky Fowler up there in the lead was awesome to see because the dude has been an excellent golfer for his entire life. He's always been contributor in terms of top 15, top 20 player in the world. He kind of his game left him for a little while. He finally has come back after 2 years, and has really started to play really good golf again. So seeing him and seeing Rory playing at the top again, like you saw all these guys, right? Some of the best in the world, just playing at the top of their level, and it was just such a great U.S. Open to watch. Wyndham Clark, who came out of nowhere. He just won a tournament, I think last month. He's 29 years old. The dude comes out of nowhere and just, dude, balls of steel the entire round on Sunday, making
Yeah,
par save after par save. And yeah, what he did on 18, dude, he's up one stroke, right? And he just has to make par. He's bogeyed the last two holes, and he hits a great drive, puts it on the green, two putts from 60 feet, and secures the U.S. Open, which was just a fantastic round, dude. It was just excellent golf all the way through. The winning score ended up being 10 under, which was two strokes more
off the
than
first day.
off the first day. So
Yeah. What'd you think of that West Coast time too? I loved it being later in the day for us to watch. I
I
thought it was
was
great.
I actually was not a fan of that. I hated it finishing so late. What I hated about LACC was, which is Los Angeles Country Club, was the fact that they limited so many spectators to that event, and that sucked because it didn't have the feel of any other major that you usually get, like the crowd around the greens and stuff like that. Um, Birdies, yeah, were nice, and like you heard a little bit of a roar, but like it wasn't similar to any other major that we've ever seen. And the LA Country Club is a prestigious type of course, and I think they only allowed like 22,000 spectators, and 14,000 of those went to the members, and 9,000 went to the general public, which is the general public are the people that go,
And watch.
get in the hole. No, they're the ones
Yeah.
that go, get in the hole, or
Yeah. Mashed
mashed
potatoes.
potatoes and all
Yeah.
that other shit. Like, so
Baba
like,
Booey.
yeah, those are the guys that usually make those tournaments, and it's unfortunate that it wasn't as loud and wasn't as fun. A lot of players complained about the crowds too as well.
Hmm. Well, great tournament. Love the outcome. And just a real quick thing, I was cheering for Ricky Fowler, and it did pop in my mind, like, wow, if Ricky Fowler wins this tournament, I think that means Paige Spiranek is going to show her boobs to the world. Tim, we were sad to find out this weekend that in fact, is not true. That is a made up fake news, some meme that was created by some company that was put out there that gained traction that was never true. Paige Spiranek, if Ricky Fowler does ever win a major, will not be showing her boobs to the world.
But
Unfortunately,
we would love to see them
yes,
at
obviously.
at some point if someone wins a major.
Paige, if I win a major, will you?
Yeah.
Because I do play in the mini masters every once in a while. If Tim Schmidt wins the mini masters, so Paige Spiranek.
Mm.
All right, Tim. Well, unfortunately, the Phillies have just lost their game, which will put them 8-3 in their last 11 games. This is a big series going against the Braves this weekend, and then after that, I believe they have the Mets. Is that right?
Yeah, back to back.
Braves and then Mets. I would love to just win either or both of these series. Um, Big weekend going ahead. We need to hit. There's some players that need to step up. Tim, any other comments about the Phillies right now, or
So yeah, I mean the Phillies have been on on fire, which is the reason why I'm
nice?
wearing a shirt. The pitching has come around, starting pitching specifically, and we're getting hitting from pretty much most of the lineup. The power numbers aren't there for Trey Turner and for Bryce Harper. I'd like to see a lot more RBIs and home runs from those guys, but for the most part, I mean, Schwarber's having his typical June. It's Schwarber Fest now at Wawa. So, I mean, they're playing well. They just got to keep on stringing these wins together. It's unfortunate. Ranger Suarez pitched six innings tonight, one run, and then some journeyman Jeff Hoffman came in and gave up 3 runs. So, whatever. But regardless, they've been playing really
Ranger
good
seems to
base.
be back on track, though.
Yeah.
I've liked where he's at. His ERA, his whip is down much more than when we talked about him earlier. And it
Mm-hmm.
seems like our guys are starting to come around. These are two big series. We beat up on the teams that we should have beat up on. I mean, you go to Oakland, you better beat the Athletics. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
go to
it's
Detroit, you better win. And so
well, they did take 3 or 4 from Arizona, which is the best team
right.
in the West. So I mean, you got to tip your cap to them, but like for the most part, yeah, like you said, they're handling their business and seeing the A's uh is a healthy dose of good baseball medicine to get your team right. So
That's right. All right, so Phillies, let's hope we can do something with this weekend and this week moving forward, win a couple of those series. Bad start, but let's see if we can win the next two, hopefully, from the Braves. Tim, Father's Day was this past weekend. Happy Father's Day to you, my friend. I hope
same to
you
you,
had a
buddy.
good Father's Day. And we'd like to wish a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there that listen to our show. We appreciate you listening.
Mhm.
And we know what it's like to be a dad. It's the best thing in the world, but it's probably one of the more challenging things you're ever going to do in your life. I don't know how else to say it, but it's the most rewarding thing too. Love our kids. Love every minute I get to spend with them. Anything you want to say to all the dads out there, Tim?
No, just keep doing your thing, dude. Especially the single dads out there, dude. Like, hey, stick with it. I know sometimes it can be challenging, but yo, listen, show up and deliver every single day. Let the kids know that you're there. And that's what's most important. So
Amen. Tim, on that note, we're going to get to our final segment of the show, which is Name
mm,
That Episode. Would you like me to go first, or would you like to come up with an episode name?
it's called Let's Go Potty. Tommy wanna go potty.
Let's go party. Tommy want to go party. Tom's 40th birthday fiasco?
Mm.
Tom's mom is proud of him?
Um
Got to be something with my birthday, I think, A 40th to remember. This 40's for you.
ooh, that's not bad.
You like that? This 40's for you?
Yeah, I mean that could be. Yeah, that could be
Yeah.
good.
How about this 40th's for you?
Not this buds for you.
No. All right, well, we want to thank you all for listening. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if you are liking what we're doing, please give us a like, share, tell your friends, tell your family, as we said
Comment.
last week. Tell the person you know that has the most followers to start following us. We're building a following, particularly on Instagram. We enjoy everyone that's been, interacting with all of our content now that we're influencers now. So please keep it up and tell anyone you can about it. Thank you very much.
This one's for BB.
This one's for BB. And what about Ched?
Nah, Ted's out.
Jed's out. BB's in. BB, that one's for you, buddy. We appreciate you listening. Till next time, this is Schmidt Lavelle. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you later.